Hello, Tom Stapleton here from WCAT, and today we have a fantastic opportunity for you people in Wakefield, and you need to listen to what's going to happen here. I have three beautiful young ladies here that are going to be talking about a brand new business in Wakefield. It's called the Center Wellness, and it's mind, body, and heart. And I think we'll start off with introducing everybody. Would you like to introduce yourself and
Sure.
make the rounds?
My name's Erica Lally, and I'm a co-owner in the business. And
Okay.
my background is in mental health. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I focus on trauma treatment. And really what brought me to, I have a very active yoga practice and martial arts practice, and I really got drawn to collaborating and opening up a business that's not really about talk. It's about movement and wellness.
And my name's Heather Josephson, and I wear lots of different hats. I work for Melrose Public Schools. I'm the founding director for Education Stations, and really enjoy that job a lot. And my background is in educational psychology, so I did private consulting for a while, working with family schools, different systems. But then I kind of wanted to get back into the face-to-face, serving the public aspect, so that's why I'm here.
Okay.
And my name is Kristen Ann Lashoto, and my background is in law enforcement. I started my career off at a medium maximum prison in Massachusetts. From there, I transitioned to the Department of Homeland Security after 9/11. And from there, I went to a police and security department in Boston. From there, I started my own practice of DIATA, which is Defend Yourself Against the Aggressor. And I went around teaching to women and vulnerable populations in the state of Massachusetts because awareness is so needed. Awareness is your first line of defense. And I actually went to Heather. Our first meeting was when she had her previous company, Zoom Zone, to have a class, and which actually months passed, and we reconnected. We'll tell that story in a little bit. But I am now the instructor, again, for DIATA, Defend Yourself Against the Aggressor, as well as the marketing director and studio manager for Center Wellness.
Well, you know, there's three varied backgrounds there with all kinds of talent between the three of you. How did you all meet? How did you put this together? Heather, you might want to
Sure.
ad-lib on that one.
Sure. So I ran a little moonlight business called Zoom Zone for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed it a lot. But it was really an expensive hobby because I do have a full-time, very demanding job. So I was trying to kind of do a little bit of everything, and I wouldn't change it. Loved it. Had a great time. Met a lot of fabulous people through it. But at the end of the lease, I kind of had this place where I had to make a decision: as was I going to renew and keep going, or was I going to say, it's been great, but I need to, refocus on other things. And I really wrestled with that decision. It was hard, but at the end, I decided, what, it was a great run, and I'm thankful for it. But I'm gonna, let go of the lease. And then.
Yeah, so I've known Heather for 5 months. I've known you for 2 or 3 months.
Correct.
And it's like the universe opened a door. I was studying martial arts at Zoom Zone, and, it keeps me well. And I love the group. I love the energy of the space. And all of a sudden, it was going out of business, and I was pretty much devastated because I didn't want to lose this fantastic cohort in learning that I was doing. So I'm like, who do I talk to? And I was introduced to Heather, and we changed our model a little bit more towards wellness, and then we met this lovely lady.
I got a phone call one day, and it still came up on my phone as Zoom Zone. I said, Zoom Zone? I haven't heard from her in months and months. So I answered, and she said, we would really like to, I have a partner now, she said, and I would really like to have you bring your self-defense to Center Wellness. Mm-hmm. And she says, down the line, we're looking for a manager. I said, well, let's meet. And so that's how the three of us came to be, sitting in front of you today.
Wow, it's amazing. And it seemed to all happen in a very short period of time?
Yes.
All came
Yes.
together real quick. And now you're opening a business here in Wakefield.
Right on
Wow.
the Melrose Wakefield border,
Mhm.
next to Billy's Roast Beef above McGill's.
you
Everybody
go.
has an association with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's got great energy, and so we are developing wellness programming.
Well, tell me now. You seem to you have a mind, body, and heart. That seems to be the focus of your program. Tell me a little bit about that. How did you all come together with that scenario?
We batted around words,
Yeah.
came up with the logo of integrating mind, body, and heart, and we really believe. Well, I'm speaking now, but I think we all share this
Yeah.
belief that people walk around in their heads too much, and we get really disconnected from our heart and our emotions and our body and our wellness, and that everybody has this innate wellness inside them, whether it's chi if you're studying martial arts, or if it's prana if you're studying yoga, and people don't connect with it enough. And so we really wanted to create a space where people can kind of leave their judgment at the door, leave their negative self-talk, and take a chance. We're really trying to create a safe space where we have lots of different tiers of programming, and people come and maybe cross-germinate with, I came here for a yoga class, but I'm going to try a Tai Chi class, or I'm going to try a wellness class. So we have 3 tiers of programming. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, or should we just go into the tiers?
I think you did.
That was
Great
going to be my
justice.
next question.
Absolutely.
The mind, body, and heart.
And heart.
Yeah, that way, because I mean that encompasses just about everything. I would think.
Yeah,
So.
truly.
So we broke it down to kind of
Yeah.
view. I'll talk about the body as
Okay,
the first tier,
yeah,
and then you'll
yeah.
talk about the heart, and you the
I have heart.
heart.
Okay.
It'll unfold.
You'll get it together.
Yes.
Sorry.
But for the body, we're really talking about like personal training, nutritional training. We're going to have high interval. It's not a CrossFit; it's just a high interval, really energetic early morning training.
Intense.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
people that are more on the athletic end and comfortable in their bodies. And then we have the martial arts. So we have a male and female personal trainer. We have a small personal training studio, and then we have a series of nutritional counseling. And then the martial art, we have an artist instructor, which is a Filipino martial art. He's amazing. He does some Wing Chun and it's more like small circle jiu-jitsu, learning about self-defense. And then we have some Tai Chi instructors. So it overlaps there with the energy
Yeah.
and the heart, but that's, you can't actually take them apart.
What about beginners? I mean, you've just mentioned a lot of different approaches that you have for the body. And what about the beginner that doesn't know anything about what you have here?
We love beginners.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
starts somewhere. So, I mean, the instructors that we have are very able to adapt to the audience. The Tai Chi is an intro to Tai Chi. And, we're going to grow with the needs of the community. So if we
Yeah.
have a bunch of people that are brand new to this and they want to try it, we're going to teach to that level. So we are about identifying and developing where the need is, all ages, all levels.
And I can speak a little to that as well. The body, mind, heart components of our programming, as Erica said, they're really kind of integrated, and you can't pull one completely out from the other two. And so, yes, beginners, everyone starts somewhere. We have gentle yoga, which is designed for a slower flow with a little bit more beginner stretches, not so focused on the athletic or competitive aspect, but more focused on getting in touch with yourself and your breathing. And that's done through breath a lot. We also have beginners meditation as well. A big motivation of mine in continuing this developing business is to make mindfulness more accessible, less mysterious. Sometimes when people hear the word meditation, they think that you have to be, perfectly still on a couch controlling your thoughts, and it's very mysterious, or maybe in a cave in Tibet somewhere. And I don't know many people that can do that. So I just want to make it accessible. And so we love one of the classes I'm actually going to be teaching is an integration of gentle stretches for the body, and then followed by a little bit of an educational social connection discussion component, and then followed up with a simple, it might be just a guided visualization. It might be a visual object meditation, like a candle flame. It could be a moving meditation, a sound meditation. There's so many ways to meditate, and I think that part of our mission to make wellness more accessible for everybody, because I mean, stress affects everyone that I am aware of anyhow, and just to give people another self-care tool is really what's behind our motivation. So for the beginners, we have lots of different classes.
Can I add, jump in on meditation? I think for me, meditation is really noticing the distraction, because our minds never shut off. And so, I think people think we have to, completely lose all our thoughts and be one. And it's like, oh, there's that squirrel. I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to notice it and then come back to my breath. So really, it's a long-term practice.
So we did the mind and the body, and now we're doing the heart.
Right. So the third tier, which consists of the heart aspect, is personal growth, social connection, spirituality, and support groups. So going back to personal growth through meditation and mindfulness, especially personal growth through nutrition, and the social connection would be Center Wellness is a safe and fun and energetic environment where individuals can come and truly learn and educate and express and share through our programming. And we're continuously evolving our programming, and will constantly change. Spirituality. We have practitioners that incorporate their mindfulness and their meditation, including their own healing for their clients. We have a psychic medium that connects to past, present, and beyond. And we also have classes regarding crystals and vision boards and law of attraction. And with that, the most important aspect is our support groups. We have first and second time moms group, and not on the schedule as of right now, but we're looking towards veterans yoga, as well as down the line we're looking at CBT yoga, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay.
So, with the program that we currently have, it's a great opportunity for all of community to come in, from children to, older seniors, with stretching and just, I'm just so gracious, and I give so much gratitude for being a part of this team.
Well, now, just something just came to my mind. You have three different areas here. Do you do all those at one time, or do you say, well, Tuesday we're going to do the mind and Wednesday we're going to do the body? How's that going to work?
It's part of. That's a great question, because some exercises are more keyed into, like, I'm really in my body right now. But I think the hallmark of our business is we try to kind of have them all be interconnected. And so, so say, for example, a class like slow flow yoga. The movements are very slow. And so, needless to say, to Erica's point, the squirrel starts coming in and chattering. And so it's an opportunity while you are in your body to slow down and quiet your mind and practice those mental muscles of clearing yourself. So the mind, the body, and the heart. We use the word heart because I feel like it's really important for people to see themselves as whole beings, and part of being a whole, healthy being, on whatever level you're comfortable with, includes personal growth or higher connection or community connection or whatever you want to call that. Some people, find religion, other people find science, other people find nature, and the beautiful part is it doesn't matter. The point is like it's all heart, it's all spirit. Sometimes when people hear the word spirit, they have this association of like, oh, that's woo woo, but it doesn't matter. That's why we use the word heart, is so again, so it's more accessible for the person who might be starting their path, and it's one of my pleasures in life, is as an educational psychologist in my background, I love collecting information. I love collecting knowledge. I love learning about like new paradigms, new schools of thoughts, and really steeping myself in what that means to a specific culture or a specific person or someone in a specific role. And I really love to take little bits and elements from different things and kind of combine them in new ways that might make it more accessible for someone. I remember early in my career, I did my graduate work out west at the University of Utah, and initially for my doctoral thesis, I wanted to do a mind-body connection study. And I will not forget my professor basically laughing me out of his office. He just thought that was the most hilarious thing he'd ever heard, and how after this rigorous empirical education we've given you, how can you even entertain these things? And so back then, the world wasn't ready for it. But I think that's the exciting part about right now is the world's getting ready for it.
I wish we thought to bring it. My son made a logo, and I'm like, I want a very simplistic image that shows integration of mind, body, and heart. And so he has a picture of a heart shaking hands with, he has a picture of a heart shaking hands with the brain, and it's in this body. And I mean, we all have these bodies that we walk around in, and we tend to congregate by age, by race, by work environment, by, we're a mom or a grandfather, and we kind of get stuck in these niches. And we really want to build this community where you take a risk, you go and you find something that makes you feel really good, and you want to come back, and you're doing this with people, and making new friendships, making new connections. And I mean, I think wellness also happens in relationship with other people.
Yes.
Very true. And I think also we all have our individual stories of what brought us to where we are right now. Whatever path that we were on, here we are. For me, when I was in law enforcement, some years ago, I started my transformation when I had to talk down a female from the rooftop of a garage because she was going to jump. And after what felt like hours and hours, which was actually just 15 minutes, when she was safe and pulled down, I dropped to my knees, and that's when everything left me, all the adrenaline, everything.
Right. Yeah.
And I stood back up, and that's when I started my transformation. And in the months that came from there is really not thinking about judgments. We're all one person. We all bleed the same way. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. And it humbled me, truly humbled me. So at that point...
you also saved a life.
Absolutely.
That's really important,
True,
too.
very true.
Yeah.
And, for me, there are no judgments. Everybody as an individual. Some individuals, as both Erica and Heather were saying, a beginner starts their own path. And life is truly a journey. It's not a destination. And we're here to help facilitate that with all the different types of programming that we currently have.
I want to jump on that a little bit because we all have judgments. Like I have judgment. Like there's this like negative voice in my head. It's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And it's really trying to get people to move past that and start to say, wait, I can try that. I can try that. Why not? I can do that. And so we don't have judgment, but I think everybody battles with self-judgment.
Yes.
And that's a real good point, too, because if you do have a negative thought about whatever you want to do, and then you go ahead and it works out, it does nothing but improve your ability to go a step further, and think, well, hey, some things will work out and some don't, but if I don't do anything, I'm going to be stuck.
Yes.
You know, and that's not a good position to be in.
Yeah, I forget who said it,
Yeah.
whether it was like Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan, but you miss 100%
Yeah.
of the shots you don't take.
That's
So-
right.
well said.
Yeah,
That's a
that
good
that
point.
resilience piece for me is really important and key. And I work with children and,
Yeah.
and families, and so that's like always front and center for me to teach them, like, this is how you get back up. This is how you can talk to yourself in a different way next time that might lead to a different outcome. And I think it's so important to give kids that these days. It's a big emphasis of my professional real job. But I think that, to your point, it's throughout the lifetime, that we can learn different ways to relate with ourselves. And that's what personal growth is all about. That's what evolving as a human being across your lifetime means, So, yeah, I think that it's great that adults can come in to us and try something new and have that playfulness, that openness. That's really a lot of the energy that we're trying to cultivate in the space, is that, to the best of your ability, leave your judgment at the door and then just come and connect with other people in
Right.
fun ways.
Try and be curious. I guess that's it. Just to try to be curious and see what you experience.
Well, the one thing about being involved in a new business, like you, all of you are, you don't have a clue of where it's going to go. You're going to want it to go someplace, obviously, and you're going to make it work as best you can. And that's going to take a lot of time. And as I mentioned, we were talking earlier, there's three of you running this business, which is really an asset, because each one can take a certain area and not get overwhelmed with the whole process. But with any new business, the time is what matters. People will become dependent on you people when they want to say, well, we're going to be there at Thursday at 6 o'clock. They want you to be there, and that's just part of opening up a new business. There's a lot of new business that start up, but if some of them just don't have the groundwork to follow through with it. But it certainly sounds like the three of you have done your homework here. So, I mean, it's really exciting to hear about this.
And the other piece is, I think when people show up, they're going to learn self-care, and they're going
Yeah.
to take that with them home. So even if they come to like 5 classes or they come for a month,
Yeah.
I could speak just from my own experience. When you have a body-based practice, it increases your self-confidence, it makes you healthy, you feel good, and then you bring that into everything you do.
And that translates, that energy travels through your relationships, if you're a parent, to your kids, to your spouse, to your mother. And I think that's the shared goal that we all have here, is to bring that energy and to nourish each other with it.
I wanted to make sure we got this in. We're getting a little time left here, but you're offering free classes for a certain length of time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So in our grand opening week,
Yeah.
we have, and we will, and we did offer free classes for the week, because we want people to come try it. And after that, on an ongoing basis, a lot of our weekly classes, you can try the first one free. And the idea is, we want to remove the barriers that might be in
Exactly.
front of someone to try
Yeah.
something new. So, say for example, you come to a weekly yoga class. Your first yoga class would be free. Maybe you want to try our niece, and you go, and that's free. We also have a very eclectic offering. We have belly dancing. We have Afro-Caribbean
wow.
dance. We have
didn't
all
miss
different.
anything, did you?
Yeah.
We've met the
Have it
best
all.
practitioners. I mean, seriously, just the amount of talent in this community is just overwhelming, and
Yeah.
it's like we built it, and people are coming. So we have wonderful, wonderful practitioners.
Well, that's a good point. How did you settle on Wakefield?
I could come up with a cute, smart answer, but I'm going to just say I hate commuting.
Okay.
So
You're not alone in that one.
yeah, so I did my postdoc internship in Melrose and loved the community, loved the area. I'm a military brat, so I was a transplant because
yeah.
I married a Beantown boy who will never leave. And so we just made it our home, and we loved it there. And then later we bought a house in Wakefield, so my children go to Wakefield Public Schools.
Okay.
My professional life is in Melrose, and so it makes it so accessible for me, and I'm happy to be a part of the community.
Yeah, and it straddles Melrose. It's on the Melrose-Wakefield border,
Yeah.
1321 Main Street. And we have a website, www.centerwellness.org. The program will
Yeah.
change as
Yeah.
we find community needs. So actually the Veterans Yoga came out of a phone call from a gentleman I was talking to yesterday. He's like, will you offer Veterans Yoga? And I'm like, yeah, we can do
That's
that.
a great idea.
And then we
Yeah.
found the instructor that
Yeah.
had done it before. And so if there's a need or a question or a course or a class, reach out to us and we'll see if we can find it and make it work.
Is there anything we missed at all? Is something you want to
Do you think
share?
maybe a general description of our, because we're talking in generalities, but we offer weekly classes
Okay.
on an ongoing routine basis. We offer specialty series, which is kind of cumulative 2 or 3 meetings. And then we also have special events and nights for enrichment. So
Wow.
we have different things going on.
What time does your day start and what time does it end? Does
6
it?
a.m.
So I'll see you
Yeah.
all at
6
a.m. at
a.m.
Central
Oh, that's a
Wellness.
great. That's a
Yes.
great time. Yeah.
Yeah, the space is also open to the community. We've had people do lectures there.
Oh, good.
So it's
Yeah.
it's really a multi-purpose space, and really just trying to meet the needs of the community. Wellness. That's
Yeah. That's
That's our
really
goal.
really really good.
Yeah. And we also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
We also do rentals for private functions as well.
Okay. That's good to know.
And because we really do want to be open to the community,
Yeah.
and we give nonprofits and community-based groups a significant deal because we want the space used. Like, for example, the first 2 years that I was running the studio solo, my daughter's brownie troop, Girl Scout troop met there, and so it's for all ages, and it's really just to enrich the community.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. This has been a great. It's amazing how quickly the time goes.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
It's just great, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much.
Thanks for
right.
having us.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
You know.
Thanks.
For additional information, you could visit us at www.centerwellness.org.
And we're also on Facebook at Center Wellness, at Center Wellness Wakefield.